This is 10 to 10 news from Iraqi TV channel. Welcome of you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Shahajay Hassan. Now let's start with the very beginning. The Independent High Electoral Commission called the Committee of Parliament experts to hasten the process of choosing new members of the board commissioners in order to preserve the democratic process and the peaceful transfer of authority. Also, on its part, the Commission called the political powers to be subjected to the constitutional and legal aspects in the work of the state's institution, among which to take into consideration the 6 months current period of the Commission. Iraqi Parliament held its regular meeting today to discuss a number of bills and complete voting on other ones of Iraqi Academic Union. The meeting's agenda included the first reading of the Fifth Amendment of the Provincial and District Councils law, as well as setting forth a general topic to discuss converting the staffs of Kirkuk teachers. Now, we also in Baghdad, Prime Minister Haidar Abadi discussed forming the National Council for Water and negotiations fixed team matter concerning water understanding memorandum between Iraq and Turkey. That came to a meeting of the Higher National Committee for Water with the Prime Minister himself. Now we go to Mosul, where a statement of Popular Mobilization Forces, also media, clarified that the surrounded elements of Daesh have tried to flee towards Al-Bahaj, whereas other major terrorist leaders have intended to flee towards Syria. Adding to that, after 6 hours of Popular Mobilization Forces supported by military aviation and Iraqi Army's 5th Brigade engaged with the terrorists in the villages of Sharia, Ain al-Hisan and Ain Talawi. Those areas from security brigade or barricade between Syria and Mosul, the operation resulted in severe losses to Daesh and killing 50 terrorists, including the so-called Abu Anwar, a field commander. Also in Mosul, plenty of booby traps and improvised explosive devices have been found by the 16th Division troops of Iraqi Army in Al-Qawsiyat, eastern of Mosul. The military also seized stacks of ammunition, including over 20 cannon rockets, mortars, and 25 anti-personnel rockets. Furthermore, 4 spaces of launching rockets have been also seized in Al Salam neighborhood. Now also joining with us, Ammar Al-Musawi, Award Media Department, a correspondent. Welcome, of you, Ammar, if you listened well to me. Ammar, if you copy me, that will, I'm going to start asking you about the recent attacks by Daesh to oppose the Popular Mobilization Forces and also foiled by the Popular Mobilization Forces. What do you have recent updates about that event?
Hi, how are you? Yes, yesterday confirmed that ISIS used the biggest attack since the start of the operations in Mosul. They did attack our brigade, which is our 11th Brigade and our 14th Brigade and also our 45th Brigade. Yesterday the attack was about like 6 hours. They did use lots of kinds of new weapons, which is, they did use for one time 7 car bombs at one time. They did kind of new technique for the attack, but for forces they were always in the front. The process from getting into the areas we already have been elaborated.
Yeah. So, Ammar, now, according to few observers, this attack has aimed the Western Axis in a region. So do you have any news about what are the reasons behind this attack specifically to the Western Axis? Now, all we know that the Western Axis in the same time is controlled by the Popular Mobilization Forces.
Of the operation, the biggest incident is to surround the city of Tallafar. In order to be front of the city of the Tallafar, you have to cut the road between Syria. And you darken the road for ISIS. They keep you back down the road to transport carbon or the fighters, the foreign fighters of Syria. The mobilization forces did take to help all the roads between all the way down to the Tallafar. ISIS right now, they just want to take out those roads. They aim it on those roads, especially yesterday. They actually tried to test which is Ain al-Hassan and the south one. Also, there is an area they call it Qayrawan. Those areas will connect you to the highway between Syria and Mosul in Iraq.
Now, I'm sorry for interruption, but I want to ask you this question because it's very important. Now, in the previous news, we have talked about the surrounded elements of Daesh that have tried to flee towards Al-Ba'aj, whereas other media terrorist leaders have tried to flee to Syria. Now, do you have any news about that? Have you contained those, Popular Mobilization Forces contained those who tried to escape to those areas?
You know, according to the circumstances, or according to the list of this area has a lot of desert. So, in order to clear the road, you have to go through a lot of villages. Now, ISIS, they just want to take those villages back because they want to connect. Because ISIS, basically right now, the outer life, they just the one that's inside Mosul. So they have no support right now. They have no other logistics. Or kind of stop the transport the problem because what happens to the right side or to the left side of the Mosul, you know, they kind of like a lot of houses.
I guess we got to the point and we got the whole image and the whole picture. Now, Ammar Musawi, the reporter of War Media Department, thank you for joining us in this news of English news from Iraqi News TV. Now we go proceeding also, but at the same time we stay with Mosul, where Samira Mouaki, an Algerian journalist, has been exposed to serious injuries caused by Daesh in Tallafar. Mouaki was accompanying Popular Mobilization Forces and media coverage of military operations to secure areas west of Mosul. She has been evacuated to a hospital in Baghdad, where she insisted to be in the battleground to keep on her coverage to the most of military operations for recapturing Mosul. Now we go to Baghdad and the recent updates with our relations to the other countries, where Iraqi Foreign Minister Ibrahim Al-Jafari and the UN Secretary General's representative in Iraq, Jan Kopic, has discussed the political and security process, the efforts of the war against Daesh, and the UN support for Iraq. On his part, Jafari praised the exerted efforts by the UN in supporting Iraq and providing humanitarian aid for the displaced families, calling the international organization to provide more support to rebuild the infrastructure of the Iraqi cities. On the other hand, Kopic confirmed the UN's continuous support for Iraq in its war against Daesh. President Fouad Massoum sent a congratulatory telegram to Frank Steinmeier on his election as president of the German Federal Republic. He also expressed his full will to promote and expand cooperative mutual relations between Iraq and Germany. Now, moving away from security and political, going into the economic updates, where a loan contract has been signed between Iraqi Ministry of Finance and German Development Bank of lending Iraq an amount of 500 million euros with easy conditions in return. Abdulrazak Al Issa stated that this loan ought to be used as a support standard to rebuild the damaged areas that has been caused by terrorism. Also, it would be a great help to send back the displaced to their home and rehabilitate their situations in general. Now, in the sport news for today, Iraqi national team list, which has been announced, is not in its final copy and will boil down before the match with Akka between Iraq and Australia in March. This came in a statement by the national team coach, Raleigh Nation, earlier. He also said that the list included 37 players, yet it will be reduced to 23 before going to face Australia, asserting on the same time that a few exhibition games would be held in a sooner time to test the team's capabilities. That's all for 10 to 10 news for this time. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye-bye.